We'll see them in court. They're refusing to apologize for disrespecting the president and the American people. And I will say it's very easy to speak truth from this podium when you have a president who is implementing policies that are wildly popular with the American people. And that's exactly what this administration is doing.
Joy Behar is out, and no one saw it coming this fast. After weeks of controversy, Karoline Leavitt's lawsuit has officially wiped her off The View, leaving fans in complete shock.
Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists.
The woman who has spent years mocking conservatives, dismissing anyone who disagrees with her, and stirring up nonstop drama has finally faced consequences. And ABC is scrambling to contain the fallout. Is this the end of The View as we know it, or is Joy's departure just the beginning of an even bigger media meltdown?
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
Joy Behar has never been one to hold back, but this time, she crossed the line, and now it's coming back to haunt her big time. During a heated segment on The View, Behar made a shocking remark about Karoline Leavitt that had people everywhere doing a double take. With her usual smugness, she dismissed Leavitt's career and suggested that the only reason she was hired was because, according to Donald Trump, she was a 10.
So it's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous.
That the insult wasn't just low, it was blatantly sexist. Here's a woman who constantly preaches about female empowerment, reducing a highly qualified political strategist to just her looks. And she said it with the same condescending tone she always uses when talking about conservatives, as if Leavitt's accomplishments meant nothing simply because of her political stance. The backlash was instant. Social media exploded, with people across the political spectrum calling out the hypocrisy. Feminists, conservatives, and even some of The View's viewers were disgusted. How can a show that claims to uplift women tear down one of the youngest press secretaries in history just because she's not on their side?
Yesterday, the new White House press secretary, Karoline Leavitt, gave her very first press conference where she announced that they're adding extra seats to the briefing room.
The second Karoline Leavitt's lawsuit hit the headlines, The View went into full-blown meltdown mode. The same hosts who spent weeks mocking her, belittling her career, and acting as if she was nothing more than a pretty face were suddenly panicking. And for good reason. This wasn't just another bad PR moment. This was legal. This was real. And for the first time in a long time, the ladies of The View were the ones under fire.
It's essential to our team that we share President Trump's message everywhere and adapt this White House to the new media landscape in 2025.
Joy Behar, the woman at the center of it all, was reportedly furious. She never expected her offhand remark to land her in this much trouble. One insider claims she stormed backstage after the lawsuit news broke, ranting about how ridiculous it was and insisting she was just doing her job. But behind the bravado, sources say she was shaken. She's been controversial before, but this could cost her more than just bad press.
All right. What'd she say?
She basically said that they were going to give
Oh,
unqualified.
God, how boring.
Whoopi Goldberg wasn't any calmer. Known for her unshakable confidence, even she was reportedly worried about what ABC would do next. If the network was forced to take action, what would that mean for her? Would Joy take the fall alone, or would the show finally have to answer for its repeated attacks on conservatives?
Young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off.
ABC executives are in full-blown panic mode, and it's obvious. The second Karoline Leavitt's lawsuit dropped, the network went into overdrive, scrambling to contain the fallout before things spiraled completely out of control. This isn't just a messy controversy. This is a legal disaster that could cost them millions and permanently damage the credibility of The View.
Everyone sat down around the TV and they watched these 3 news outlets. Now you look at where people consume news. 54% of American adults say they get news from social media.
Behind the scenes, closed-door meetings are happening nonstop. ABC's legal team is working around the clock trying to figure out if they can fight this lawsuit or if they need to settle quietly before it gets even worse. But here's the issue. If they settle, it's an admission of guilt. And if they go to court, that opens the door for everything. Emails, behind-the-scenes discussions, off-air conversations to be exposed. Meanwhile, network executives are also scrambling to save face. Should they force Joy Behar to issue a public apology? Should they distance the show from her completely? Some insiders are even whispering about the possibility of pushing Joy out altogether. Something that was unthinkable just weeks ago.
Disgusting Joy Behar of The View accuses Karoline Leavitt of being hired only because Donald Trump thought she was a 10. Karoline Leavitt actually comes with real job qualifications.
The internet exploded the moment news of Karoline Leavitt's lawsuit against The View hit the headlines, and the reaction? Pure chaos. People everywhere had something to say, and the debate quickly turned into an all-out war over media bias versus freedom of speech.
Was only hired by Donald Trump because she's a 10. You know that what it is. Actually, she's quite capable, unlike the last press secretary who was only hired because she was a black lesbian.
On one side, Leavitt supporters were cheering her on, calling this lawsuit long overdue. They argued that mainstream media outlets like The View have been smearing conservatives for years with zero consequences, and finally, someone was holding them accountable. Twitter was flooded with comments like, "The View has been running its mouth unchecked for too long. Now they're getting a taste of their own medicine, and it's about time someone stood up to these hypocrites." But of course, The View's loyal fan base wasn't staying silent either. They rushed to defend Joy Behar, claiming that this was an attack on free speech. Many argued that talk shows are meant for heated discussions and that Leavitt was just using this as a publicity stunt. One viral comment read, "If conservatives can't handle tough conversations, maybe they shouldn't go on the show at all."
So it's a big culture shift in our nation to view someone who breaks our immigration laws as a criminal, but that's exactly what they are.
Karoline Leavitt's lawsuit against The View isn't just another headline-grabbing scandal. It could change everything. If this case makes it to court, it might force the media to finally rethink the way they treat public figures, especially conservatives. For years, talk shows and news networks have had free rein to mock, smear, and misrepresent people they don't like, all while hiding behind the defense of free speech. But now, that might not be enough to save them anymore. The central issue in this case boils down to one fundamental question: where exactly do we draw the line between a personal opinion and defamatory statements? In this particular instance, Joy Behar made a sweeping and controversial claim that Leavitt only landed her job due to her physical appearance, implying that her entire career was nothing more than the result of superficial factors. This statement not only undermined Leavitt's professional accomplishments, but also devalued her work in an incredibly disparaging manner with just one biting remark. However, the question arises, is Behar's comment simply her subjective opinion, or does it cross the line into a false and harmful accusation that could damage Leavitt's reputation? At the core of this legal battle lies this very debate, whether the comment made by Behar was a matter of personal viewpoint, or if it was, in fact, a defamatory statement meant to harm Leavitt's professional standing. The outcome of this lawsuit holds significant weight because if Leavitt prevails in this case, it could set a major legal precedent for how such remarks are treated in the future. Media outlets and public figures alike would be forced to reconsider their approach to making bold and potentially damaging statements, knowing that careless or reckless accusations could lead to costly lawsuits. The ruling could send a powerful message about accountability and the responsibility that comes with speaking publicly, making everyone think twice before making unfounded claims that could tarnish someone's reputation. The View is in serious trouble, and everyone inside ABC knows it. With Karoline Leavitt's lawsuit hanging over their heads and backlash growing by the minute, the show's future is looking shakier than ever. For years, controversy has been fuel for The View. Drama brings ratings, and the hosts thrive on heated debates. But this time feels different.
She was conflating two ideas. This word wokeness didn't look like she really understood what it meant, or certainly the way Karoline Leavitt meant it when she made that statement, and she was conflating it with civil rights.
Behind the scenes, rumors are swirling that ABC execs are weighing some major changes. Some are reportedly questioning whether Joy Behar is worth the trouble anymore. She's been at the center of so many scandals, and this lawsuit could be the final straw. Would ABC fire one of their longest-running hosts? A few years ago, unthinkable. But now, it's on the table. Another option? A complete shakeup of the show. There's talk of introducing new hosts, or even tweaking the format to tone down the political tension. Some execs fear that The View has become too toxic, alienating advertisers, losing credibility, and pushing away viewers who are tired of the constant fighting. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.